100 U.S. senators arrives Nigeria. Asurot shake as Tinubu mount pressure to release Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, 100 U.S. senators has finally arrived Nigeria. In fact, it is mind-blowing as even Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself has mounted pressure to see that the freedom of the IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu is quickened. Hey, my people. Yes, it has been widely condemned as Nigerian government claimed that the Kenyan government judgment concerning the freedom of the IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu is not genuine. They said that the Kenyan judgment for the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu is not genuine. Why? My dear listeners, despite the multiple court ruling ordering the release of Nnamdi Kanu, supporters say this is about injustice and political fear. Government spokespeople insist Kanu poses a security threat. But now, international voices, especially from the United States, are raising concerns. A recent U.S. government report on human rights directly cited consensus that the U.S. senators are calling for actions. This is more than a legal battle. This is a test of diplomacy, democracy, and dignity. Unlawful rendition of Nnamdi Kanu, violation of international human rights, Nigerian agents. This wasn't a speculation anymore. In fact, it has finally been confirmed by the U.S. government of state that the leader of the indigenous people, Nnamdi Kanu's rights has been violated. Injustice from the British human rights has also been taken note of. They later laid out evidence of kidnapping and violation of diplomatic protocols, torture during detention, and it ended with one demand: hold Nigerian government accountable. But what worse than a diplomatic fallout, an international court has finally summoned the Nigerian government, calling for the quick release of Nnamdi Kanu or Nigerian will face sanction. Now, under the rule of law, it has finally also been taken note of that the freedom of the IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu is sacrosanct and so should be declared as quick as possible. My dear listeners, Bola Ahmed Tinubu no get choice other than concurring, agreeing, and adhering to this very directive. If you no concur and sabi, anything when you see, make it take it, and you go take it on and carry on. I don't talk. A word they say is enough for the wise. Anybody will get ear, make it hear. Happy with una things I talk. Make una pay attention to this small story. We just enter our studio.
Nigerian agents. It was confirmation by the world's most powerful government. Nnamdi Kanu was no longer just a Nigerian figure. He was now a global symbol of political injustice. Reports later revealed that the US acted after receiving an official petition from British MPs and human rights lawyers. They later laid out evidence of kidnapping across international borders, violation of diplomatic protocols, torture during detention, and it ended with one demand: hold the Nigerian government accountable.
British government.
But what's worse than a diplomatic fallout?
Not of.
An international court summons.
Nnamdi Kanu was going through all of these pains.
And that's exactly what happened next. We are closely following developments surrounding Mr. Kanu's case. We believe all individuals should be tried fairly, under the rule of law, and that due process must be respected.
And the British government haven't following up this very process, are willing to take action against Nigerian government after this very observation. Nigeria, another year, okay.
While cautious, the message was clear: the US is watching. This shift didn't happen overnight. For months, US-based Igbo groups had staged protests in Washington, D.C., New York, and Houston. One viral protest sign read, "You can't silence freedom.
Oh.
Free Nnamdi Kanu."
Oh.
Their demands were simple.
Hallelujah.
Call out human rights abuses in Nigeria. Pressure the Nigerian government to either release or give a fair trial to Kanu. Investigate the circumstances of his rendition from Kenya. And it worked. Washington is now paying attention. A Kenyan High Court ruled that Nnamdi Kanu's arrest and transfer to Nigeria was unconstitutional, unlawful, and a violation of international human rights law.
Despite the fact that they are the one that actually initiated it to, you see that now they are now saying it after a careful check during their own trial, and that is the reason why they ended up declaring Nnamdi Kanu innocent and free. My dear listeners, at this point, I must tell you that the federal government of Nigeria has nothing else to say about this other than to surrender and let the IPOP leader Nnamdi Kanu to be free. Yes, they no get choice. Make them set this guy free and let him be a free man.